In this video, I'm going to share with you why the absence of praise feels like criticism and what you can do to change your mindset. When I first come across this concept, the absence of praise feels like criticism, it really chimed with me in two different ways. First of all, for myself, the fact that I hadn't been acknowledging myself, but secondly, how I hadn't been acknowledging other people, and both will have substantial impacts on your life. So we're going to go into both, but we're going to start with the impact that it has on you. There's so many people I meet, particularly the high achievers, that are constantly driven, and they're driven and driven and driven because things aren't quite good enough. And it's a blessing and a curse. It's a blessing because it's one of the things that drives them to be better, improve, keep going, and develop and grow as they move forward. But the curse of it means that they never truly acknowledge themselves for feeling really good and taking check for where they're at. Now, one of my little fascinations and things that I'm really curious about is the root origin of where words come from. It's called etymology, the etymology of words. And a few years ago, I found out the etymology of the word boast means to inflate. And it really chimed with me because if you think of a car tire, if we overinflate a car tire, it bursts, it's no good to us. But the opposite is true. If that car tire is underinflated, then it's not going to function, it's not going to perform, and even if we drive on it, it's eventually going to get ripped off, and that's going to be no good to us either. And it's exactly the same with how we think about ourselves. But most people, when they think of boast, they only ever think of it as overinflating. They don't think of the detrimental impact of underinflating themselves. Whereas if we think about it from the position of, right, I need to inflate myself to the point where I can operate at my optimum, then we need to be able to acknowledge ourselves for the things that we've done. So take in check. So I like to get people to create what I call a boast list. Now, a boast list is simply acknowledging all of the things that you've done to make you realize how great you actually are. And you can go back to as early as you can remember. That could be your 5-meter swimming badge. So when we're thinking of acknowledging ourselves, we want to think in the 7 areas of life. So we want to think in terms of our health, for example. What health goals have we achieved? What things have we done to improve or have we accomplished using our physical body? Then we want to think about our family. Maybe one of the things that you've done is you've created a family. Maybe you've got married and you've created a great relationship. Maybe getting divorced or leaving a relationship was actually one of your greatest achievements. Socially, what have you done socially? Maybe it's something you've done for the community and the impact you've had there. In terms of your mindset, what is it that you've learned, or what is it that you've been able to gain as a qualification in knowledge or experience? Financially, what is it you've been able to acquire or gain as a result of having money or investing money or even giving money away? And then in terms of your vocation, what is it that you've been able to achieve within your professional endeavors or business or career that you've been working on to date? And then spiritually, what is it you've been able to gain spiritually? And that may well be in terms of knowledge, awakening, or even letting go spiritually. Now, acknowledging this list and building this list up will enable you to take stock and go, do you know what? Actually, I've really done some great stuff, and I can feel proud and acknowledge myself for all of the things that I've done. So this exercise will enable you to give yourself some more praise. Now, the second thing that I've said about is about other people. There's 2 ways of looking at this. Is have you not acknowledged other people? And if you haven't, then the impact that that could be having on them. It's so easy to take for granted all of the little things that people do for us that we just don't acknowledge. So I want you to have a think right now, who are some people in your life that you haven't praised or acknowledged for doing some of the most simple things, just being there, for just being a person in your life? And then the opposite of that is when people haven't acknowledged you. So there's a few ways of doing this with other people. Now, first of all, what you can do is you can, in the right setting, have a conversation with somebody and share with them that you don't feel that they have been acknowledging you for the things that you've been doing or sharing with them, and how it's been making you feel that you haven't had that recognition. Now, what it's worth bearing in mind at this stage is that there's what's known as 5 love languages. And there's an amazing book by Gary Chapman about this exact topic, and I'll do another video on it on the not too distant future. But every single person has their primary 1 or 2 love languages, and it may just be that their love language is different to yours. So for example, if your love language is words of affirmation, you like to be told nice things and things that you've done, but their love language is acts of service, then they might have been showing their appreciation for you in ways that you haven't seen. So that's just something worth bearing in mind. So there you have it. That's why the absence of praise can feel like criticism and some things that you can do about it.
Thanks for watching, and if you like this video, hit like, hit subscribe, and please also leave a comment about what it is that you like. I'm going to be picking one of the comments and sending you a free copy of my book, North Star Thinking, Master Your Mindset and Live the Life You Love. So make sure you get that comment in.